y'all. It's Saturday. We are 6 days into the new year, 2024. Welcome to Unity in the Community. One more time. This is our first regular broadcast for the new year. So welcome to Unity in the Community. Glad to have you with us on this cold and snowy afternoon. Not too much snow though. Probably just under 2 inches here in the capital city. Downtown Indianapolis and our new digs here, Praise AM 1310 95.1, Indy's Inspiration Station. You can also access us at praiseindy.com. Again, that's praiseindy.com. Keep it locked right here on AM 1310 95.1. Praise Indy. Glory to God. So good to be down here in Indianapolis. We've moved and it is just wonderful down here. And we got AJ on the controls, doing a wonderful job. So it's good to be with him again. AJ, I hope you like it down here. I think you told me last week it was wonderful. Yeah. So we have a good show on today. The number to call is 317-972-3008. Again, 317-972-3008. We're also streaming live on my Facebook page, James William Jackson, and on YouTube. You can find me, James William Jackson, in both places. If you want to see who's saying what they're saying, then you can go to those places and see the show too. And I'm going to be able to look at your comments. This studio offers us so much more, and I can see your comments, and I'm set up really good here. So we're going to have a really, really good time. We'll talk about tips on healthy eating and exercise here in just a few moments. But again, I want to welcome you to today's show, Unity in the Community. And please be sure to let other people know that we are on Saturdays, 12 to 1 o'clock p.m. every Saturday, 12 to 1 p.m. all across central Indiana and different parts of America, because we're streaming. We're all over the country and in some parts of the world as well. So when we give you that phone number, 317-972-3008, again, that's 317-972-3008. You can call in from anywhere that you might be. You can also download the Praise Indy app on your smart device. And I tell you, the listening experience is wonderful. You'll really, really enjoy it. So again, that's Praise Indy on your device. Download the app, and there's a lot there that you can enjoy. And of course, the Praise Indy Facebook page. If you've missed something, you can go back and check it out. Tune in to the Community Connection with Tina Cosby Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. And there's news you can use there too. All right, 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008. I'm Pastor James Jackson, your host on this afternoon. I'll be talking about healthy eating and exercise. Why is that important? Because during COVID, at the height of COVID, we were introduced to some new terminology, and that was comorbidities. How many of y'all remember those two words? Comorbidities. And particularly among Black folks who were dying because of COVID-19. And there was a lot of talk about comorbidities, or some health issues that existed prior to that particular new virus, COVID-19. And so folks were not able to defend themselves. The immune system was not strong enough to fight off the virus. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, how your body works. And I think it's important for us to understand that. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And God has made us, and He has provided us. He has made us in such a way, and He has provided everything for us to be healthy. Your immune system moves all over your body. It is your mobile defense system. It is strong. You are born with a strong immune system, especially those of you who were breastfed. If you are a breastfed baby, that means that you have a lot of healthy intestinal flora. Intestinal flora is good. That's good bacteria. That's the reason why antibiotics are not so good, because antibiotics, they go in and they kill all bacteria, including the good bacteria. And we've got some folks going to be coming in this month to talk about those kinds of things and how you can restore your intestinal flora. A lot of sicknesses and diseases emanate out of the gut. your intestines. So once food leaves your stomach sac, if you will, your stomach, and gets into your intestine, if your intestines are healthy, then you're going to be a healthy person. But so often we have unhealthy guts, and there's all kind of stuff leaking out of our intestines into our bloodstream, and that's what makes us sick. And then we have these kinds of things happen like COVID-19, and it's not going to be the last time. There's going to be another one that come up at some point, God forbid, but it's just the way things are. And we want to make sure that you are not trying to get yourself ready at the moment, but that you are prepared. You can have a strong immune system. Did you know that your eye cells are new? They reproduce every 2 to 3 days. You have new eyes every 2 to 3 days. And all of your whole body, I don't recall immediately how long it takes for your whole body just to be renewed. Every cell in your body is always being renewed, every single cell. And so you have a new body. And so what you can do is you can start today doing better. You can start today doing better and headed towards a healthier body. So we've got a great show for you. Dion Livingston, our general manager, formatted this show many years ago to deal with things in our community from a biblical perspective. And certainly the Bible has a lot to say about our health. The Bible says in 3 John 2, beloved, I wish that you prosper and be in health, even as your souls prosper. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are an incredible creation. Did you know that you have your own HVAC system? Just like in your car, in your home, where your temperature is regulated, your body does that automatically. And that's the reason why when you go to the doctor and they take your temperature, they are looking for a particular temperature, 98.3, somewhere in that area. Some run a little bit higher than that, some just a little bit lower. But if you run too far beyond that, then they say, well, there's a problem. The body is fighting off some kind of issue. Or if you run too low, below that, then the same thing applies. So we've got a great show for you today talking about healthy eating and exercise. But let's have a word of prayer first. Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship around the radio waves. I thank you for every person who is in our listening audience on today in this very special show about healthy eating and exercise. You have made us to thrive, and you have made us to be alive. And Father, we thank you that you would give us articulation on today that will help our listeners. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. So today we're kickstarting 2024 with a focus on healthy living. Whether you're a fitness enthusiast or just starting out on your wellness journey, this show today is for you. So let's dive in. 2024 is all about making healthier food choices. And we are all faced with choices each and every day about what we're going to eat. And I'm going to share some things with you on today. One of the first tips I want to give you is to make fruits and vegetables your best friend. Fruits and vegetables. There's a book that I've been checking out, and it has to do with a plant-based diet. Now, you have vegetarians. There are some people who are vegetarians, and you have some people who are pescatarians. But I found a book, and in that book it talks about flexitarians. And you might not have heard of that term before. Maybe you have, but flexitarians have a plant-forward diet. That's what flexitarians have. They have a plant-forward diet where fruits and vegetables are a part of every single meal. So the meat is not the primary part of the meal. It's the fruits and the vegetables. And so I'm trying to pull up where I can give you the author of this book. I think it would be a good read for you and a very good reference. So this is the Plant Forward Solution. Reboot your diet, lose weight, and build lifelong health by eating more plants and less meat. More plants and less meat. You know, the strongest and the most powerful animals on the planet are not carnivores. They're actually herbivores. When you look at giraffes and you look at elephants in particular, the elephant is much larger than a tiger or a lion, but elephants don't eat any meat. And I'm not saying don't eat meat, all right? Because I'm going to probably have a hamburger after the show. But I don't eat hamburgers every day. So the plant forward solution in this particular book here is eating more fruits and vegetables, or eating more plants and less meat. And it also includes a 28-day reset. It's by Charlotte Martin. And Charlotte Martin gives some really good stuff in here. I like the flexitarian idea. Flexitarians are folks who have flexible diets. They have flexible diets, all right? And the flexibility includes eating some meat. So there's some vegetarians out there. God bless the vegetarians. There's some pescatarians out there who they just kind of eat. I think pescatarians are into fish and different things like that. But for me, the flex diet is much better because I like a lean piece of meat every now and then, whether it's a lean cut on a steak or some lean chicken fillets or something like that. So I can do this. And you have to have something that you can do for the rest of your life. That is so critically important. And I don't think I could be a vegetarian for the rest of my life. I could try it, but this plant forward solution, just having less meat, I think could work for most people. Whatever works for you. If you want to be a vegetarian, great. If you want to be a pescatarian, great. But here's another option for you. So, as I said, during the height of COVID, there was a lot of talk about core morbidities. Ladaska says great information there on YouTube. Thank you, Ladaska. I appreciate that. And I think she's listening in from either South Bend or Fort Wayne. So during the height of COVID, you heard about comorbidities, especially in minority communities. And essentially, people just did not have strong immune systems. And here's what happens: your body is dealing with and fighting off bad bacterias and viruses every single day. You touch a door handle, or you get a cup of coffee from Starbucks, or you get a sandwich from Chick-fil-A. Well, there are people who are handling the packaging and different things like that, and there are people who are preparing the food. And so when you take possession of these things, you really don't know what has been transferred even onto the packaging. And so when you ingest, and your skin, which is the largest organ on your body, when your skin comes in contact. That is the reason why we had what they called social distancing. How many of y'all remember social distancing, where they wanted to try to keep all of us away from each other? And that's the reason why everything got shut down, because they were trying to control the virus, because it was spreading because of people's contact with one another. So each and every day we come into contact with other people sneezing, or people coughing, or people shaking hands, all these different kinds of things. And that is how viruses and bad bacteria are transferred from one person to another. However, if you have a strong immune system, no matter what bad bacteria or virus comes into your body, your immune system will go to work to destroy it. And that is how we stay healthy. And that is the reason why we're kickstarting our 2024 with this show, because no matter how many plans you have for doing business, no matter how many plans you have for growing a family, or whatever you're going to do, you cannot do it without a body. The only way that we are able to be in this world is through this body and its five senses. And we can be healthy, y'all. And so I want to be able to help you with that. And if you would like to call in, it's open lines on our show today talking about all of this. And if you would like to share with us what you are doing, there's a lot of people who are on the Daniel fast right now. And if you've never heard of the Daniel fast, this was the time when Daniel only ate fruits and vegetables and different things like that. But if you make it a lifestyle, eating healthy every day, not just the first 30 or 40 days of the year, but every single day of the year, you will be glad that you did. So let's make fruits and vegetables our best friend. The City Market and Broad Ripple Farmers Market are great places to find fresh local produce. I'm not sure if the City Market is still open with those kinds of things, but there's a Whole Foods right next door to the City Market. And before COVID, there was a Whole Foods close to where I was living at. And I would go there, and they had this wonderful salad bar there. And they still do here downtown and some other places around town, where you can go and you can get these wonderful salad choices at the Whole Foods stores. But Broad Ripple has a farmers market. There are other farmers markets around town, are great places to find fresh local produce. And remember, balance is the key. Incorporate a variety of good groups in your food groups in your meals. Just a great variety of food groups. To the men, to the men, if you want to be, let's say, to the men, if you want to be able to be strong and stay strong sexually, I think I can say that on this family show. A watermelon. Now, most times when we eat watermelon, we throw the rind away. And I found out there's a health professional, a wellness professional, and an herbalist that I was talking to, and they sent me a video, which was wonderful, and especially for men who are over 40. Watermelon, we eat the meat of the watermelon, and then we generally throw away the rind. But did you know that the rind has some nutrients in it that are helpful for men? And so you can make a smoothie out of the watermelon rind. And I thought I would try that. And you cut it up and you put it in the blender, and you add in some ginger, and you add in some lemon, and I add in some cayenne pepper too. And it is just, and some honey. And it's a wonderful drink, but it's also very good for men. So, ladies, if your husband is having some issues, then go to the store, get a watermelon, and say, honey, I'm going to give you this smoothie here. I love you so much. Here's a smoothie for you. And he won't even know the rind is in there. And he will thank you, and you will thank me. All right. So we're going to be giving you all kind of tips like this. We're going to give some tips for men. Certainly, our bodies change, y'all. We as you age, your body is going to change. However, God has made it so that we can, if we eat more plants, if we eat more plants, then we can be healthier. There was a reason why that Sarah was so beautiful, even at 70, at 80, at 80 years old. She was still desired by kings. She was absolutely gorgeous. But back then they had a better diet than what we have now. All right. So we want to make sure that we're not only eating our fruits and vegetables, but that we're also making some good choices when it comes to sweets. Now, when it comes to sweets, for those who have sweet tooths, moderation is important. So try natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup, and enjoy treats in small portions. So if you get some ice cream, don't eat the whole gallon in a day. If you get a dozen donuts, don't eat the half dozen in a day. So it's just moderation. If you can do without sweets, that's great. But there are so many wonderful treats available to us nowadays. So just in moderation. Remember, balance is the key. Small portions, that's the key. Now, Jack LaLanne is the one who introduced fitness and health to America. And he would come on television and he would do a lot of fitness, and he would do a lot of exercise. And one of the things that he used to say is that fitness is the king, and I might get this mixed up, but he said fitness is the king, exercise is the king, food is the queen. You put them together, you have a kingdom. Maybe the other way around. But suffice it to say, when you take food and exercise and put them together, then you have a kingdom of good health. All right. So if you're eating right, and as you get older, diet's going to be at least 80% of it. because your metabolism slows down. And your body's ability to metabolize the food that comes in is just a little bit slower than it used to be. How many of y'all remember we could just eat anything we wanted to at a time and it just didn't matter? But now, if you're past 40, especially if you're past 50, your metabolism slows down. So you got to get out there and exercise and burn up some of those calories. We're going to talk more about that. We do need to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to share with you some more tips on getting healthy and staying healthy in 2024. We'll be back after this.
This is Jackie Hayes, host of the Black Health 365 podcast, a podcast where we address the healthcare disparities within the Black community with trusted voices and information to empower a healthy lifestyle. The Black Health 365 podcast, the Urban One Podcast Network. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts and UrbanOnePodcast.com.
Here at Urban One, we pride ourselves on supporting local and national Black-owned businesses throughout all of our radio markets. Since we began our Buy Black campaign, we like to spotlight some familiar and unfamiliar businesses in our communities, from arts and crafts, restaurants, clothing and apparel, heating, technology, electrical. One thing is true, Black folks have a business for everything you need, want, or could imagine. So let's show some love to all local and national Black-owned businesses, because when you spend money with a Black-owned business, you are helping your community as well as helping yourself. The businesses for this week are
Edit Below Graphic Design Agency provides professional and highly creative graphic designs. They're online at editbelow.com. Enhanced DNA Publishing helps thought leaders, storytellers, and others publish their works. Find out more at enhancedDNApublishing.com and get you some healthy. It promotes holistic well-being and nurtures a healthy mind, body, and spirit. So, go to getYouSomeHealthy.com.
Presented by the Office of Minority and Women Business Development.
Quality care, remarkable people. Eskenazi Health is looking for dedicated professionals who have a passion for their community. Named as one of the best employers by Forbes magazine. And the #1 health system in Indiana for community benefit by the Lown Institute. Eskenazi Health provides excellent benefits, competitive pay, and unwavering leadership support. Learn how a career at Eskenazi Health can benefit you by visiting eskenazihealth.edu/careers.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save up to 40% on molding bulk savings packs. And there's more. Save up to 25% on drywall boards when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
And you're up.
All right, we're back on this beautiful afternoon in Indianapolis. It's gorgeous down here on Monument Circle. Y'all wish you could see it. However, 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008. If you have some questions about anything that I've shared so far, please give me a call. We've got Larry Holding. I'm going to get to Larry here in just a few moments. During the break, I was talking to AJ, and so we're going to use the word viral. For the men, we were talking about the watermelon rind that usually gets thrown into the trash. If you are where there are folks who are eating watermelons, you go to the trash and you'll see all of those rinds that are in the trash, all of those vitamins. And I'm trying to remember one of the nutrients that is in there. I think it's L-carnitin or something like that, but it's very expensive. And there it is in the trash. So now you know, especially men, where virility is concerned, that you can put that watermelon in the blender and turn it into a smoothie, and it's going to benefit your body and help you with some other things too. We'll leave it at that. All right, so moving on to exercise, and before we do, I'm going to bring Larry in here. Thank you, Larry, for holding. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Happy New Year's, first of all.
Happy New Year.
But, I'm pressing 70 years old, right?
Really? I didn't know that.
The thing I got is that the older you get, the less food you consume.
That's true.
I fast 2 days a week on Tuesday and Thursday. That allows your system to rest up, and you count the stuff that you put in your mouth, because I see most people, when they get a little affluence and stuff, it's hard to control their mouth. They start eating everything, and they become gluttons and get up to 300 or 400 pounds. But what you said about the comorbidities during COVID, right?
Yeah.
When you have someone cooped up where they're not exposed to germs and so forth, naturally the immune system is going to lose its grip because it's not confronted every day. It's a live organism, you know, and the thing about it is our body, you know, the first thing that God done to us is gave us dominion over everything. So our body is a capsule to keep us in shape.
Right.
But when we start adding stuff like fried chitlins and fatback meat and all this stuff that we've been persuaded our ancestors ate, which they did not eat, then that's when we go into being overweight and disease. So it's in your own responsibility. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Your responsibility is to look out for your body. That's what it is. God gave it to you. If you don't honor that, then you get what you get. I think I counted them, Pastor Jackson. If you take all the vaccines they want you to take, it's over 15 vaccines a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody can't look at that and say all they're doing is trying to sell vaccines, then let them go take the vaccines, right? The body is all you need, and your mind can keep you well also without thinking about a bunch of foolishness and having some kind of work to do that involves physical labor. That's what we're set up to do, especially black men. That keeps you out of trouble. But in any case, I'm just happy to see the new year is coming, and I'm so grateful that for the internet now, I don't have it on a constant basis, but everything is getting out there, the information, so people can actually look and see both sides of the story and make up their own decisions. So I'm just happy for the New Year's, and hey, people need to think about what did Robert Frost said: provide, or somebody will provide for you.
All right.
Thanks, Pastor Jackson.
All right, Larry, thank you for your call and comment. Larry is right. You know, you had this big thing over the last few years called intermittent fasting. And the word intermittent is a very interesting word, but people have been fasting for many, many years, and fasting does give your body a chance to reset. And what also happens is when you're fasting, and that's the reason why when we wake up, they call it breakfast, which is breaking the fast through the night. What happens is your body is able to, a lot of times, if you fast a long time, then a lot of those fat cells are emptied because the body stores up fat in cells. And so when there's no food in there, then what the body does is it goes into those reserves and it starts consuming for energy the fat in those cells. So the more you fast, the better off you're going to be when it comes to losing weight. However, when you live what I call the fasted life, when you live a fasted life, which simply means that you're just not eating as much throughout the day. Facebook user says, I like the idea of fasting 2 days a week. Yeah, they used to have us do that. I grew up in the Church of God in Christ, and our pastor asked us to fast every Tuesday and Thursday, and that was over 40 years ago. So intermittent fasting has been around a long time, especially in the church. And some of you all are fasting right now, a partial fast. When you go on a Daniel fast, that's a partial fast. You have different kinds of fast. You have normal fasting, which means to go without food for a while. You have partial fasting, which means that you incorporate certain foods into your diet. And then you have total fasting, where you don't eat food or drink any water. And that's the kind of fast that Moses was on when he was in the mountain. Jesus had that kind of fast, but he probably drunk something, because the Bible says after he came off that fast, he was hungry. It didn't say he was hungry and thirsty. But if you're going to do a 40-day, you want to make sure that you are certainly hearing from God. That is a extreme fast, and you definitely want to hear from God on something like that. Anyway, 317-972-3008. At the end of the day, if you're trying to lose weight, The key is you have to burn up more calories than you are consuming. And it's easy to consume 4,000 or 5,000 calories in a day. If you were to track your calories using an app like FitnessPal, which is what I use, and FitnessPal has grown over the years. When they first came out and I first got it, there was a lot more you had to do. But now it has advanced, and you could take pictures of food. It will calculate the calories for you. None of it is going to be precise and exact, but it gets close enough. And the key is just to kind of have some semblance of how many calories you are consuming, so you can be a more conscientious eater, so that you're just not out there eating whatever you want to. Now, I don't have a cheat day. I have an allowance day. I don't have a cheat day. I have an allowance day. So I allow myself on Saturdays and Sundays to kind of have a little bit more flexibility in the things that I eat, because I can do that again for the rest of my life, rather than saying, well, 7 days a week, I'm going to do this like that. So just giving you some tips. Whatever works for you, that is the key. So we're going to move on to exercise. We call it workout. And who likes to work out? It is work. But there are some things you can do just to get moving around so you can burn up those calories. With FitnessPal, there's a lot of wearable devices now. You got Fitbit. You have iPhone with the watches, and so many different things that can help you to know how things are going. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You are your best healthcare provider. My doctor, before he retired, Dr. McDougall, he said, you don't want to become a patient. Now, this is a doctor telling me you don't want to become a patient, because when you become a patient, that means you are now going back to the doctor. You are a patient, and they are seeing you on a regular basis. And you don't want to live that kind of life where you're having to be seen on a regular basis for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, hypertension, all these kind of things. The word hypertension, it kind of speaks for itself. Hypertension. Why are so many people tense or filled with anxiety? We all have some tension. We all have some stress. But when it's hyper, that can have a deleterious effect on your body, because cortisol is being released in your body, and cortisol is not good. Too much cortisol moving in your bloodstream can aid to the onset of chronic illnesses. But if you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these high or hyper things, it can go in reverse. We've got a couple of callers on, Mayhem and Yvonne. So let's go to Mayhem and Yvonne. Hold on. You're right after Mayhem. Mayhem, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
It is well.
Hey, all these cliches are good, but food is only for one reason. It's for energy. When you eat, you go do something. Larry's partly right, but we don't want to hear Larry. We put him off the air and all this and all that. But Indiana is one of the fattest state in the nation. We hear them commercials all the time. Only thing we do is eat, and majority of the food that we eat is I don't even call it food. It's something that somebody made in a lab. Even some of our vegetables now made in a lab. If it don't have seeds, it's not real. Majority of our meat made in a lab. A grocery store, there's only a couple of aisles that really have real food. So all that stuff you eat in boxes and bags and all that stuff, it's not even real. So we're in big trouble here. Eat less, know what you're eating, and do something. And when you look at all these trails in the city and stuff, I ain't trying to be funny. I only see white people on them, Caucasians. So black people need to take advantage of what's going on. I don't really see too many black people riding bikes, walking, or exercising at all. Only thing I do is see them riding around, puffing, and fighting. So I don't know. It's good what you're talking, but maybe if you get a white crew to listen to you, maybe they'll take it. But our black people, they're not listening to what you're talking about. Only thing we want to do is think we know everything and run up and down the aisles on Sundays. So I hope they listen to you. In 2024, everything's going to be exposed. And as you said, people that can't fight off these diseases, there's more people going to die. We got to detox our mind, and then we can lose all this false stuff that we're getting. But like I said, the majority of this food that you're eating, stop eating it because it's not real food. And also, if the food is not reproducing itself, it's not real food. So it's only on us to save us, like Frank Middlebrook said, because a lot of us are just going to die because we're ignorant and brainwashed. Hey, have a good one.
All right, ma'am, thank you for your call and comment. Going to Yvonne. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. One of the biggest things is not only our food, is how much we chew our food.
Yeah.
We're supposed to chew our food 40 times before we swallow it. And very few people do that. And that's my comment.
And that's a good comment. Because, and I was listening actually to Yvonne's point. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, where the host was saying, or the guest on that particular show was saying 25 times. Yvonne said 40, and they were saying about 25. But the key is to make sure that whatever solid that you're putting into your mouth is reduced to paste, if you will. If you think of paste, before you swallow it. And that takes some practice. It takes some discipline. And after a while, you would get used to it. And that's something I'm working on too, because we have just gotten to the point where we eat so fast and we have to slow down. Someone on Facebook says, I like the idea of fasting 2 days a week. Great information, vegetarian. Someone made a comment concerning that. But again, please share the broadcast on today. Very important information we're talking about. Mayhem was talking about the obesity, and I want to share this with you. This particular statistic says that 42% of Americans are living with obesity. U.S. map showing obesity rates by states is out there. And yes, Indiana is one of the most obese states in America, and we can change that, y'all. You are your best healthcare providers. There's just some things that you're going to need to do. And let me also mention this, because I don't want the show to go off the air without mentioning this. But we talked about healthy eating, a plant-forward diet. Plants are good for you. Plants are live foods. Plants were the original fast food. When we think about fast foods, we think about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and all these different places where we can go in and get food real fast. But the original fast food were fruits and vegetables, where you can eat a cucumber or an orange or apple or a banana right off the tree, grapes right off the vine. When you buy fruits and vegetables, and what I do in my home is I put these things on the counter, because if you don't put them where you can see them, you probably will not consume them. And you put them out there, you wash them up real good, and you take that banana, that pear, that apple, that orange, and it's the original fast food, y'all, and it's going to be good for your body. Ladaska said, I've been gardening for the last 3 years. My mother taught me how to garden. She did it for us as children, and that is good. That is good. In the among the indigenous people and the food and gatherer groups, that's what they do. They have all of these natural things where they grow their own foods. And we're seeing that now. There are more people who are getting into gardening and growing their own foods. Want to hear from you on this afternoon, 317-972-3008. There are a lot of you all who are a lot smarter than I am when it comes to this kind of stuff. And we want to share with everybody that we possibly can how you can get healthy. We want you to be around, and we want you to be healthy. My father died in 2020. And he had a lot of comorbidities, a lot of problems. And he told my sister that he liked living. I'll never forget this. He said he liked living, but he didn't like how he was living. And he was a patient, going back and forth to the doctor. That's one of the things that motivates me to stay healthy. Like I said, at the beginning of 2023, I was at 200 pounds, which is not bad, but I wanted to get down to 185. I'm at 183 and maintaining. But I want to mention that water is important. Water is so important. You can exercise, you can eat right, but you have to hydrate yourself. You have to make sure that you are hydrating your cells. We are mostly water. When you are born, you are almost 90% water. How about that? And as we get older, we don't drink enough water. And so we want to make sure that we're drinking enough water so that our bodies can be hydrated. I have increased my water intake, and I can tell you I feel energized. I'm not as hungry throughout the day, and don't require a lot of snacks and things like that. And in fact, sometimes you can just put a little flavor packet into your water if you don't like water, but God gave us one of the best beverages on the planet. No other planet has water like we do that we know of, and we just don't drink enough of it. Let's see, on Facebook, a lot of people do emotional eating. Yeah, when they're not really hungry. Grazers. If you're going to be a grazer, make sure you have some healthy food to graze on. Some blueberries, a handful of blueberries, maybe a spoonful of peanut butter, or get you some peanuts and some cashews and some almonds and different things like that. Pineapple, Facebook user says pineapple on the counter right now. All right, cut the pineapple up and get that pineapple going. It has a lot of medicinal benefits for your body. We're all talking about health and wellness on this Saturday afternoon and throughout the entire year. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to go to, we got a break coming up. We're going to go to, let's see, San and then Guy. We're going to bring them on. We got to take a quick break. And when we come back, the first voices you're going to hear are San and Guy on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Indianapolis. We'll be back after this.
This is a great show.
Indeed, the legends of gospel are coming for one night only. Three of the most iconic voices in gospel music: Donnie McClurkin, Hezekiah Walker, and Marvin Sapp. Three incredible acts on one stage. Mark your calendar and get your tickets to experience the Legends of Gospel. Tickets available now at the full box office and PraiseIndy.com.
Granddad, what's good?
Hey there, got us a quarter pounder with cheese and McNuggets.
Wow, haven't had our special McDonald's order in a minute.
Heard your little tic-tac-toe dance didn't get no likes.
Oh man, is Mom telling everybody?
You know she is.
There's a deal for every favorite grandson at McDonald's. Right now, get one favorite like a quarter pounder with cheese or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Every day in Indianapolis, people are hurt in serious car accidents. And every day, insurance companies pay accident victims far less than their case is worth. That's why it's important to call attorney Vaughn Walmsley to see what your accident case is really worth. It may be worth a lot more than the insurance company says. Call Vaughn now for a free case review. 800-850-5054.
Vaughn Walmsley, expect more. 800-850-5054.
All right, welcome back to Unity in the Community. We're unified around talking about health and wellness on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Thanks for sharing the show. Those of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, it's about 12:45, so we're headed toward the end of the show. Healthy eating, eating more plants, exercise, and drinking more water. You'll be glad that you did, and your body will thank you by keeping you out of the hospital. You don't want to become a patient. Two things I tell my children: you don't want to be a prisoner, and you don't want to be a patient, because two places that are hard to get out of: jail and the hospital once you get in there. All right, going to San. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Hi, there's a few things I want to share. The little girl in the 50s, every other house had a garden or a fruit tree. Mm-hmm. So we were eating from the ground. I suggest that, and I know a young lady that has these boxes, and a lot of people are doing this where you boxed in an area in your garden, in your yard, and that's another way to have a set place and start growing our own fruit. We used to do that as Black folk, and growing our own fruit trees. Number two, my youngest two sons told me this years ago, high fructose corn syrup is as addictive as heroin.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why we have children. I've seen young ladies that are in high school or junior high that are twice as big as me. I mean, huge. High fructose corn syrup, my sons told me, and one is in med school, said it's as addictive as heroin, y'all. As heroin. So when you go, I don't care if it says organic, turn over the back. If it's mustard, ketchup, it says high fructose corn syrup, don't get it. That makes it addictive. It is addictive as heroin, they told me. So I haven't done that in a while. I was type 2 diabetic. I'm now pre-diabetic. Number three, be mindful of that. And you want to eat fruits and vegetables, like what you were saying. Be mindful of what you eat. Another thing that I do, intermittent fasting, gives your body, read up on it. Sometimes I do it 2 days but every other day or something. But during the week, that's where just look it up. Look up in terms of the purposes of that. But look up high fructose corn syrup. Look up intermittent fasting. Eat the fruits and the vegetables that have seeds. You're absolutely right. Because how are you going to produce something that don't have any seeds? God had a reason for doing things the way He did. So, folks, be healthy. Exercise. Another thing is, as a child, you used to have to walk to school.
Yeah.
Kids need to get out and we do exercise and do those things. So, yeah, avoid high fructose corn syrup. That is like cocaine. Avoid the vegetables and fruits. Don't have a seed. Apples without a seed. And be mindful of what you're eating. And intermittent fasting. Find out about that. That'll cleanse. That begins to detoxify your body. Have a good day, guys.
All right,
God
Sam.
bless y'all and your families, and stay safe, okay?
All right, Sam, thank you for your call and comment. You are absolutely right. High fructose, and I was watching a documentary on that just a few days ago, and that was by design, where the federal government and farmers got together and they started putting this stuff in foods, and it increased people's desire for these foods, and it increased consumption. And subsequently, of course, we started seeing obesity in America. So Stan is absolutely right. And it was done by design. You all would be surprised that there's an insidious nature about a lot of these things, because there are people who want to make money. And when people want to make money, they don't care about you. So you have to care about yourself. And they have made billions, literally, people have made billions of dollars. And of course, millions of people have had to pay the price, and millions of people are paying the price still to this day. So look at the labels. Look at the labels. And if the labels give you one number, it's probably a little higher than that, because they're not going to give you the exact number. It'll probably have you put it right back down. And Sam was talking about growing your own food. On Amazon, there are some things you can buy and set up in your house and have vegetables fresh right there at your fingertips. Go on to Guy. Guy, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, New Year's greetings.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you.
These last comments have been very good. I think when it comes to what is important in terms of fast food versus slow food, or whatever you want to call it, I think a lot of that has to do with the pace of our world today. If you noticed, and in my older generation, possibly yours, the elders, a lot of them did grow their own food. At least tomatoes and vegetables and that kind of thing. But today, do people have time to really do that? You know, there's so many things pressing on people in terms of their time schedule. I think that's a big factor. I think people need to slow down, and a lot of these things may come back in a large way. But yeah, the additives like the high fructose corn syrup and others. If you look at the soy ingredients in American food, it's really amazing. I mean, they even put soy in Hershey bars. Mm-hmm. If you look at the labels, and too much of a good thing is not good. So I think people have to definitely read the labels, and they have to act accordingly. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely. As I said, we are our best healthcare providers. Nothing gets into our mouths without us putting it in there. Nothing. Nobody forces us to drink anything. Along with that is sleep. A lot of times I don't even get enough sleep. So yeah, you're right on point.
Absolutely. It's very important.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your call and comment, Guy. I always appreciate it.
One other thing before I go.
Yeah.
Don't know if many of your listeners might remember Reverend Charles Montgomery. I understand that he transitioned this week. He used to work with the Martin Luther King Center and other agencies around the city. Uh-huh. And a lot of people in this generation are leaving here. And it's really a situation that I think people need to look at also.
All right, Guy. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Health isn't just physical, it's mental too. And that's something that we didn't get to. Mental wellness is also important. Taking the time to relax, de-stress is crucial. Don't forget, our city has beautiful parks and green spaces, perfect for some quiet time or meditation. There are numerous walking trails, the Monon, the Cultural Trail, the Pensy Trail. Fort Bend has a really nice trail where there's a natural tree canopy there, so that during the year, if it's raining a little bit and different things like that, you will not be affected. If it's a lot of sun, there's a lot of shade. Most of that trail is protected by a natural tree canopy. So you just have to get out and do something. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. If you work in an office building, all these different kind of things. Make sure you use the handrail, but go up and down those stairs. It might be difficult at first, but that's a challenge for you. Each and every day that you do it, you'll find yourself getting just a little bit stronger, and you'll see about getting healthier. One of the things I've been doing too is push-ups before I go to bed at night. I'm up to about 45. My goal is 100 a night, real push-ups. I'm not talking about cheating with it, AJ, but these are real push-ups, and up to 45. And I'm going to push it up to 50 by February 1st. And then hopefully by the end of the year, I'm doing 100 every night. And these are just small installments, y'all. You don't have to do all this all at once. Today might be an allowance day for you, where you're moderately eating pretty much whatever you want to eat. And then Sunday might also be the same. But then on Monday, you're on it and you bear down and you make the right choices and you drink the water and you get the rest Monday through Friday. And that's 5 days of doing things in the right way. And you're going to notice the difference in your body. Well, we're almost out of time. I think we've got about 2 or 3 minutes left. 317, 2 minutes left, 317-972-3008. Become a part of an exercise fitness class. It's great to be able to do these things with other people. One of the things I like to do is rebounding, and it's a Kangoo Bounce is what it's called. We had several Kangoo Bounce classes around town. This morning I was a part of one at 9:15, and my goal was 700 calories. I think I ended up burning about 750 calories, and that doesn't include the calories that I'm going to burn up just walking to my car and just moving about the day. And then I'll have this year, what I did is I added an additional exercise to get my calorie burn up over 1,000 calories a day. Now, did I get it every day? No, there were some days where I probably got about 5 or maybe 7 or 800, but then I would get back to it. So suffice it to say, whatever you have to do to prevent yourself from becoming a patient, or even if you are already a patient, you can see your health get better. You can see all this stuff go in reverse if you start making choices. I'm going to bring an herbalist on who's going to share with you very soon some herbs, some things, even like dandelions. A lot of times we spray dandelions and we kill them off, but dandelions, and I remember back in the day, you used to talk about dandelion greens for people who knew how to make them. And most of our yards in the Midwest are full of dandelions, and they are full of nutrients. But if you don't know, you don't know. And so we're going to be bringing on some folks who are expert in their knowledge of herbs and what they can do for your body. Ginger and dandelions and elderberry and all of these different kinds of things can put you on track to be healthier than you have ever been before in your life. Take it from me. I am a living example of that currently, where I was at 200 pounds. High cholesterol runs in my family, but you can break the cycle. And because of the changes that I have made, I see all of these things improving. In conclusion, there are 3 scores that you want to make sure that you are fully aware of. Your love score, how are you doing loving God and loving other people? Your heart score should be a 0. That means you have 0 plaque in your arteries. There are a lot of hospitals that may charge you about $50 or $60 for a scan where you can see if you have any plaque on your heart. And the score that you want is 0. Anything over 0 means that you have some plaque in there that if you catch it early, that would be great. And then, of course, your credit score, which should be well over 700. Thank you for joining me on this afternoon. Until next time, from all of us here at Praise Indy, we like you, we love you, and you make us smile. We'll see you next week.
Get up church. Best day ever.
Mornings with Erica Campbell.
Hey, good people, I'm Erica Campbell.
That was perfect timing.
Get up mornings.
And you gotta join us on Monday. We're gonna help you get your money right with Money Monday tonight. Shorty will be with us again. And we're gonna get you motivated to have the best day
You're welcome.
Plus, it's the
Thank you all for watching.
championship, and I
Appreciate
got
y'all.
Michigan. Come on,
Share.
Of course you got Michigan. We'll have you faith walking.